Hello grade 7. So today we will start with our second chapter for this semester. It's the complement. A complement, it's a word or word group that completes the meaning of a verb in a sentence. So sometimes you need other word or a group of words to complete the meaning of a verb. So for example, I say I gave and then I stop. Can I stop here? No. I need a word to complete this verb. So I say, I gave a flower to my friend, right? So a flower here is a complement. It completes the meaning of the verb. We have many types of complements. We have direct object, indirect object, and subject complement. A direct object, it completes the meaning of a transitive verb. Let me remind you what a transitive verb is. A transitive verb, it's the verb that needs an object to complete its meaning. So, just like the verb gave that I said, he gave a flower. So, gave needs an object to complete its meaning. It answers the question whom or what. So, for example, when you say, Sarah gave a flower to her mother. So, a flower is what? It's a direct object. Sarah gave what? Flower. So flower is a direct object that completes the meaning of the verb gave. Okay? Sometimes you may have compound direct object. For example, when I say compound, I mean like two or more direct objects joined together and they complete the meaning of one verb. So for example, when you say, Ahmed likes cars and motorcycles. So Ahmed likes what? Cars, motorcycles. So cars, motorcycles are compound direct object. Note that it never follows a linking verb. As I said before, it follows a transitive verb, not a linking verb. An indirect object here, which is the second type of complements, it helps complete the meaning of a transitive verb. So it answers questions like to whom, or for what. So for example, when you say Sarah gave her mother a flower. Sarah gave a flower to whom or for whom. So the answer here is mother and it is an indirect object. Why? Because it answers the question for whom or to whom or for what. Okay? Again, you have a compound indirect object. When I say compound, I mean like two or more indirect objects joined together to complete the meaning of one verb. So, for example, when you say the rancher brought the cows and the horses some hay. So, brought what? Hay. Hay is a direct object. Brought the hay for whom or to whom? The cows, heroes. So, horses is an indirect object, compound indirect object, okay? The third type of complement is the subject complement. So a subject complement describes or identifies the subject and it follows a linking verb. So unlike direct and indirect object, here we have a linking verb, okay? Linking verbs like is, are, am, will be, have been, had been, etc. Okay? And as I said, it describes or identifies. So when it describes, we call the subject complement a predicate adjective. A predicate adjective when it describes the subject. We call it a predicate nominative when it identifies the predicate or the subject. Let me give you examples. A predicate nominative, it's a word or word group that identifies or renames the subject or refers to it. Okay? And of course, it appears only in a sentence that has a linking verb. Okay? So, the form of the sentence would be subject, linking verb, and then a noun. And this noun, we call it predicate nominative. So, for example, when you say, one of the winners must be Ahmed. Linking verb here is must be. One is the subject. It identifies or renames the subject. It gives it an identity. One is Ahmed. So Ahmed here is predicate nominative. She was a monster. The linking verb here is was. After the linking verb, you have a noun, which is monster. So monster is a predicate nominative. It identifies the subject she. To find a predicate nominative in a sentence, in a question, turn this question into a statement. So, is the president of the student council Chen Tran? Turn it into a statement. The president of student council is Chen Tran. So, Chen Tran is a predicate nominative. It comes after the linking verb is, and it identifies the subject president. Types of complement. The third type, it's the predicate adjective. It's an adjective that is in the predicate and that modifies or describes the subject. So the form of the sentence would be subject plus linking verb plus an adjective. And we call this adjective a predicate adjective. So, for example, when you say, Margaret was very tired after the swim meet. So, you have the linking verb was, and after was you have an adjective or a description. Margaret was what? She was tired, so it's a description. We call this a predicate adjective. Same thing for questions. So when you say, do the potatoes taste too salty? So the linking verb is taste, and the predicate adjective is salty. Some verbs like taste, smell, feel, look, sound, appear function as action verbs and as linking verbs. So how can we differentiate between them? Look at these two examples. The tomato smells rotten. So in order to know whether the verb is action verb or linking verb, replace it with one of the linking verbs, with is, will be, was, where, whatever. So the tomato is rotten. Since it can be replaced with a linking verb, it is a linking verb. If you replace it with a linking verb and the sentence doesn't make any sense, then the verb is an action verb. So let's start with the second example here. He should smell the tomato. If you replace the verb with the linking verb, he should be the tomato, does it make any sense? No. Then the verb smell here is an action verb. Thank you for listening.